I can't even. Hey guys, I'm gonna wait a second. I'm actually laughing on this topic because I'm trying to figure out because I'm so not an expert on this topic, and so um, you have to bear with me because I know there's something going on with the topic I want to talk to you today, and I think it's very, very important to talk about it. Bear with me, and I am doing a disclaimer because I am not a expert on this any means. So just know that I'm not an expert on what I'm talking about today. So we're going to start with cards while people pop on here. And the card that I got is a very interesting card to start off with. Hey, Michael. Hey, just a second. I'm sending you something, but it takes forever. I was sitting and I was looking out my window and I saw something in my tree and I took a video of it for you and it's halfway downloaded. So pay attention to your phone because it was really cool. So um, I always do my animal card. And so the animal card is gentle and wise protector. Give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. And that's the black bear and it's the guardian. That's pretty cool. I don't know if we've had that one before. Thought that was cool. Actually, it's a really pretty good one for what we're going to talk about today. I'm just laughing because I'm so out of my comfort zone talking about this, but it came to me and I got to talk about it. So hopefully the channeling session will set this right because I am so not an expert on anything that I'm going to tell you today. Um, so then I wanted to pick out a few cards, and I kept these cards because someone obviously needs to hear this. And hi, Gemini, Gem. And so I'm just going to go with them. The first one's denial, and it says, acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight and awareness. And then the next one, this card I keep getting, and I put it back in the deck because it's not my favorite card. And so I chose to keep it today. And it's the death card. And really, the death card just means a new beginning. It means an closing of a door of something and then opening another door, which is a very good thing. And sometimes you have to have closure. It could be a harsh closure, it could be a hurtful closure, but just know, keep walking to the next door. And when you open that next door, it'll be better and it'll have more purpose to you. So, this death card is I am learning that endings are mere beginnings. And sometimes we have to go through some tough times to realize that. So, that came out. And this card goes with that card. And I kept it because I thought, well, someone obviously needs to hear this, so I am going to do this. It's the grief card. And I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. So what is that saying where they say, like in a relationship, let it go and see if it comes back to you? Um, And I always thought that was weird because what if it doesn't come back to you? I guess then it wasn't right. So this would be to let something go and look at the opportunity of it. So there is that. So I I don't know why I keep laughing on this. I'm going to be talking about relationships, and this came to me, and it actually is very important, and I shouldn't be laughing. It there's this silent attack that we're having on relationships right now, and it's all relationships, it's marriages, it's relationships, it's family, and we've always had a silent adversary attacking our relationships, because if the adversary can get into our relationships and pull them apart, make them a mess, and destroy them, then he can destroy you. And so this is where you need to keep the adversary away. And so I'm finding, as I'm looking at society and looking, because I'm a single person, looking from the outside in and seeing what friends are going through. And because I backed up from it because I just felt like everything was really messed up. And I don't like drama and I don't like messes. And I don't want to be with a messed up person. And so I backed up and I just let my friends continue to do what they're doing. And I just watch it. And I'm just thinking, oh, I'm so glad I'm not involved in that because it would just make me feel really insecure. And I don't want to feel insecure. And so what I'm seeing is people are floundering. They're kind of like floundering in choice and floundering in how they think a purposeful relationship should be. And everything is superficial. And that bothers me a lot because I don't like superficial. I don't like, um, I don't know. I don't like to feel like I have to compare myself to somebody else for attention because I think that's so wrong. And I think with the mindset of the new generation coming up is really getting screwed up. They're really screwed up. They're becoming screwed up on what they think relationships are. Um, I was taught, and I'm not in one, so I can't. I'm just gonna say it that why okay this came to me. So why do people want to just go for the cake and ice cream first when they're not willing to put all the ingredients in first? Because if you don't take the time to put the ingredients in your cake, it's going to fall and then it's not desirable. And so I'm trying to say this a very basic way. You got to put your time in, you got to invest. And people are not willing to invest in themselves and invest in a relationship because everything's fast, 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 fast. And because there's no investment in it, then when things get hard, what do you have to lean on? You have nothing to lean on. Then you get mad and you get destructive and you say things you shouldn't say, and then people leave. So I, I think we have to go back to the basics. It's just, it has to happen. It has to go back to being more where people invested time in development of a relationship. And if you want someone and they're not willing to develop with you, then I don't know. Then maybe that's not correct. And so I was looking online to try to define a little bit what I'm saying, and I'm just rambling because I don't even know what I'm talking about. But in my channeling, hopefully it'll pull together. I feel like there's a really nice lady here, and she's going to go through this and really define it for us. I know when I was married, my first one, we would go through counseling, and I remember him telling the counselor that no, he didn't love me. No, no, I can't even remember. He loved me, but he didn't like me. And I looked at him like, what the hell does that mean? I don't even love you or like you. So I didn't know what he meant. And I thought, how do you be married to a person? And why did you make that choice? Why did I make that choice? But why did you make that choice if you loved me, but you didn't like me? So obviously there's things about me he didn't like. And so if you're going to make a choice and you have things about the person you don't like, they're not going to change. I wasn't going to change. And so people go into things, I think, with the wrong perspective, and they don't take enough time to figure that out. And if you can figure it out beforehand, and then you can get out before things go deep, then you have less hurt. And then everybody is a positive thing. I don't know. Comments, if anybody wants to do comments, I just am rambling. So I'm going to do 10 ingredients of a long lasting relationship. So, and I think I have someone on here. I don't know if she's on here right now, but she's not. I really enjoy someone on our team, her and her husband. I think they have a really awesome relationship. And I like how she talks really wonderful about her husband. They've been married for a while. And I thought that is so cool that you talk about your husband like he's your best friend and that you see all his admirable qualities. And you're here to be his helpmate, to help him be strong. And I'm sure vice versa. I haven't talked to him that much, but when she wrote me a letter about him, I went, that is probably the coolest letter that I've ever read of a wife talking about her husband because she just admired her husband so much and she understood him, which was pretty cool. So I'm going to go through these really fast and then go into channeling. So the first ingredient is love, obviously. You have to have a connection. Second one's romance. Um, I think, at least when I was married, that's the first thing to die is the romance. Because then everybody gets complacent and you're going, well, let's go on a walk and hold hands. No. Okay. Let's go do this. No. Okay. So I think that is work. You have to work at that. Respect, obviously. If you don't respect each other, and I think that's where my ex husband was saying that he didn't like me, he didn't respect me on some sort of level, which, um, and it's like, so when you're bringing two people together, you're bringing your two lifestyles together. You're bringing lifestyles together that are different. You're both totally different. You were raised different, you were taught different. And if you don't get to know that person prior to that, and you go straight to the cake, and then you try to figure everything out, it how often is that successful? Sometimes it is, but you just and maybe when you guys start talking, that person's going, "Whoa, you're a lot different than I thought you would be." So then you have passion. Keep the passion alive. I'm going to share a story, and I hope this isn't too much information. But when I lived in Utah, and I was single when I lived in Utah, um, we would go over to houses that was called a fireside, and we'd have these classes, and we were all single adults. And we go over, and there's this very wealthy family that invited us all in, and we were all in the basement, and we had this class, fireside, and prayer, and then we had stuff. Well, the wife got up, and she was a really pretty lady, and he was a nice looking man, and they had a couple kids. And she got up, and she goes, so when you guys get married, and she actually talked about this passion, which was very odd to talk to Mormon single people about this, but it's been in my head since then. So she goes, you have to keep the passion in your marriage alive, and you have to do spontaneous stuff. And she says, what I did is it was Halloween, and it was the kids were tucked away. It was later at night, and my husband was cleaning up all the Halloween candy and everything. And so the doorbell rings, and she told her husband she had to go clean something in the kitchen and stuff. So the doorbell rings. So he goes and goes, man, this is late. These guys are trick or treating late. So he opens the door, and there's this mask and someone in a trench coat. Well, he goes, well, you're awful tall to be trick or treating, so I think I put my candy away. And so she opens up her trench coat. She doesn't have anything on, and obviously it was his wife, so he knew it was his wife. And she said that you have to do crazy stuff like that to keep the passion alive. And I thought that was, see, that was so me. Everybody's going, oh, that's disgusting. And I'm going, right. And I thought that lady had me. And I thought, you have to do silly, stupid stuff, I think, in relationships. At least if I'm in one, I can't have it boring. It has to be spontaneous and have crazy stuff like that happen. You have to have empathy for each other. If you don't have empathy, it's not, it's because you have, each of you are going to suffer at different times in a relationship. You're going to go through situations in life and work, whatever, that you're going to suffer, and you're going to need empathy from your partner. And so if you have lack of empathy for your partner going through hard times or situations, it makes it worse. And I think that's a very dangerous line to walk along. Um, and you need to understand, and I'm going to read this. It is important to be able to understand each other. It is through understanding that connections develop and respect and love can be discovered. And see, I guess in my thought process, that should be happening prior to the to having more of a intimate relationship. But that's just me. Acceptance, if you are in a relationship with a person, you need to accept him or her as she is. And I think that is key. Um, if you're in a relationship, you don't know that person, then you get to know him and you're going, whoop, and like, he was in jail. Can I accept that? Maybe that wouldn't be cool. But I think all of this stuff needs to happen prior to a commitment. Friendship, basically, in a relationship, you need to be able to laugh at each other, cry with each other, and yell at each other. I'm not much of a yeller. I cry, I don't yell. Who better to do that than your best friend? So that's key. That's the key word right there for me. And I think that should be key for, I think this is what we should be teaching our youth, is that you need to find your best friend. And if that person is interested in you, then you develop that best friend. You develop it into being a best friend. Because when you need to pull magic out of your hat when things get tough, you need to have something in that hat to pull out to keep that relationship strong, and not to suffer through um, bad times. That you have something to fall back on, I guess was what I was trying to say. And a commitment. You need to be committed to each other. You need to be in it for the long run. Stay focused on each other will let you last longer. So I think that's kind of a key thing too. And it's a lot of the relationships that I've been seeing. Um, I guess the commitment level is not there, because people wander, or their eyes wander. And there's so much social media stuff, and temptation, I guess. There's so much temptation on that's accessible easily. And if you can't focus on your commitment, and you think you can do both, maybe. I think that's foolery myself. Honesty will help you build the right amount of trust in a relationship, and couples can learn value in each other's opinions and beliefs. And I think that's key too. You gotta be on the same plane. And it's so funny because I have a friend that keeps asking me why I'm not dating, and I go, okay, I didn't see that there was a guy that wanted a channeler as a girlfriend. So that's probably not on a radar for most guys, is that they have this girl that talks to aliens and channels and looks at the stars at night. So that's just the way it is. Okay, I'm going to channel, and on my Patreon channel. And I think I have it just for them, Patreon people. But it's a hammerhead, and she was so beautiful, even though she was strange looking. I think I'm learning as I'm channeling, and I'm channeling other species. that you look in their heart and you can see their beautifulness and you can feel the beauty of them. So you don't judge the outside package. You look at their heart and you can feel their words and you can sense their words. And some of the most auspicious looking entities that I've channeled are the most beautiful. And I think it's teaching me to break out of humanism and to break out of judging. I never was a person that judged people by looks, but I think we really need to start working at looking at people's heart. And I wrote something that if you can delve into someone's heart, that is where you will find your heart. And I think that was really good. I thought I did really good on that one. So, okay, so I'm going to push this back a little bit. All right, so if you guys want to walk with me through this, walk with me. I think I'm just going to go right into her. It's a female and a very kind. And I think my understanding, she wanted to talk about the attack on relationships. So she's dressed all in white. We are we're where are we? It's not a ship. It's not a planet. I'm not actually. I don't know where I am. It's stone. As she's standing on a stone. I'm standing below her. She's standing above me on a round stone. She's in white, and she has a head thing on, and everything's kind of like blowing back. Sorry, I have a fan blowing on me, so weird. She's floating down to me. She's coming down. She's very human, blonde, but golden blonde, not white blonde like Pleiadian. She's not Pleiadian, she says. She's not Pleiadian. Anathena. Anathena is her name. They're kind of a Greek look. Her hair's wavy, gold. Very pretty. She says I called her forth on this subject to talk to her. This is something that she knows well. So she says at the beginning of man, we're going to start with Adam and Eve. There was temptation in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were a couple. They were solidified as a couple. They knew that. There was other people in the garden, and it was kind of what you would say a great community of good, kind, honest people. They could see outside of Eden. I guess what I've seen before is like a globe over Eden, and they could see out. And there's people out there living and enticing the good people in Eden to come out. And that's what happened, where some left, and then Adam and Eve could not leave. Eve felt that those that did leave, that were now floundering outside of Eden, needed the help of Adam and Eve because they had direction from God. So she did partake. I'm not seeing it was a fruit. She partook in something else. I know we have it written in the Bible that the serpent beguiled her. I feel that she beguiled the serpent because she knew they needed to get out and help the others. something. I'm not seeing it fully. It almost looks like a contract, what I'm seeing. So she said that was the first, is when the good sovereign people were mixing with the people that were not as sovereign and as angelic as them. And then they started mixing and grouping. That's where the controversy in mankind started. Much has been held at bay through the years, through the dominions. She says, what you are feeling now is truly attack on mankind. It is a quiet attack. It's like a breeze of evil that you breathe into yourself, and then it has control over your thoughts, your insecurities, your past. If you are not secure enough and know how to think through the situations of this evil adversary and pull yourself out before you harm or say words that harm another or do actions that harm another to make yourself feel good, we just want the people to be aware that evil is losing. And you're thinking, how can that be when there's so much destruction with each other? Because you're not trying. You're not bringing in the light. If you can't pull yourself up in vibration and bring in the light, then you are at full capacity of this silent killer that is coming into your life, into your body, into your relationships. Then nothing can save you, she says. It is only through the light that will give you clarity, that will keep you strong when you feel a pull to go the other way. You have to master self, she says. You have to master self. You have to master self before you can be complete for another. And then you need to seek out. You need to seek out those that are also striving to master self. It doesn't work if one is mastered and the other is incomplete, unless the other wants to attain. But sometimes the other wants to pull down the one that is mastered to their level because that is comfortable for them. You want to bring them up to your level. If you are now in an existing relationship, communication, bring in the light, bring in the meditation, bring in the prayer, protect your home, protect your family, and keep it on constant guard. Because the world is winding down and the evil is winding up, but it is losing at the same time. That's why it's in full capacity of attack mode. We hope you understand these words. Mankind was meant to complement each other, as we have stated before, that has been stated before in these readings. You're meant to complement each other. You're not meant to fight each other. You're meant to walk side by side. You're meant to complement each other. We made you opposite for this purpose. That you could be strong at opposite times for each other. That you can look up to the skies and believe in the light. You can ask for the light to come down and absorb into your soul. Many people are suffering and floundering because they don't understand these words. They don't understand actually how easy this is. If you can be on the same plane, same capacity, if you can understand at the hardest times in the relationship that you're meant to complement each other, look into the heart of the other. If you can't see the heart of the other, then it is doomed. That's where your success lies, is in the heart. Not in the head, not in the body, not in the choices, in the heart. And if you understand that person's heart thoroughly, and you want to merge with that heart, success. You're meant to be loved. Okay. I told them not to make me cry because I don't have waterproof mascara. Humankind, humans, were meant to be loved. They're meant to seek love. You have only been away from love for a very short time if you can understand the years you have walked on this earth. You resided in the most perfect love that is ever known. You basked in it, you were developed in it, you were trained in it. And now you come here and you seek it. Many are seeking it wrong. They're seeking it outside themselves. You need to seek it inside yourself. And then let it attract another to you. We hope that makes sense. Because when you are walking in love, when you're walking in light, light attracts like. Light attracts light. Be careful, because there are many out there that don't understand the capacity of any of these words, that they like to lure you in through manipulation. And then there is the heart falls. We have the hardest time seeing many of you heart fall, when you become destroyed and downhearted because of pain that another has propelled upon you. Do not accept that pain. It is not for you to take on. Yes, when something is destroyed and a door is closed, then you keep walking and you go through your next opportunity. And then you'll look back and you'll be thankful for the growth that you had from this one destructive point to where you are now. You people need to understand that you need to be self-reliant. You need to direct your focus to the heart. And then everything will come into place. If it is God's will, if it is on your path, do not force it. It will come naturally. it will be made known to you. And then you will accept it. And then it will be true. And it will be forever. So all of you that have backed away from this situation, consider your heart, consider the light. Understand that you are loved. And each human is to be loved. This is a strong statement. Each one of you is to be loved on this earth. Little did you know that this is a driving force that we have fought for you. If we could just have you remember an inkling of the love that you came from, you would want to strive to find it here. But it has to start with you. And then it will evolve with you. And then it will find you. If you are in a relationship now where there is great pain, hardship, where you feel love is lost, separate yourself from the relationship for a minute. Not away, just you. Look at you. What do you need? Where do you want to go? What do you need? Many times people confuse themselves. They confuse themselves because they allow society to tell them what they need. They allow what they watch fill their mind. Once you see something once, it is there forever. So be careful what you bring into your home. Be careful what you watch and focus on. Because once you see it once, it is forever in your soul. And it is written. So we want you to know that. If you knew what was written for all to read, you may change some facilities of your life. Consider your focus. You're probably focusing on the wrong things. Be kind, not only to yourself, but be kind to another, to your spouse, to your significant other. If you can bring the kindness back into your relationship and a smile, things will slowly improve. And you will fight the adversary through this. We have given you good words. Be careful out there. Be on guard. And listen to these words. Because they're from on high. We walked at the beginning with Adam and Eve. You are meant to complement each other. You have gotten so far off track. Bring it back. And there's the success. And this transmission. Ooh, hold on. Come here. I have a dog. What's up? Okay. I think we'll stop there. Wow. She was real poignant on that. I had to stop her because I do not make me cry. I'll have black eyes. Okay. You guys, peace out. Food for thought. I'm not a professional, so I'm going to re-listen to this too. So you guys have a good day. Love you all. Thanks again for letting me have a few weeks off. It was good. It was good to regroup and consider going on Patreon channel. I have a lot of good stuff on the Patreon channel too. So see you guys later. Bye. Peace out.